Okay, and the call is now being recorded. So when using Web Analyzer, very simple. We also known as Vibrata now. Okay, you can find this either on im.center under products. This will be labeled Vibrata, or you can come to imlwebanalyzer.com and still use our older version here. Okay, so when doing that, very simple. You're going to go down and pick a strategy. Make sure you choose Dr. Kathy Kirkland's ECC-11 strategy so you can get the cloud imposed on the chart. You can click the on button to turn on the cha-ching sound, save for mobile, save settings, and that's all you'll have to do is stay there. So here are our here's what your chart should look like once you do that. Off to the left is going to let you know any critical news is coming up. So it looks like we got AUD news coming up at 6:30 today p.m. We got EUR news that was at 1 a.m. local. We got Euro news, and then we got USD news. It looks like 9 a.m. this morning. Let me check that. So Forex Factory here. This lets us know what news is going to be. Let me try update this. So forexfactory.com, you can go ahead and write that down. This is where you go check the news, see if there's any red folders. If there are any red folders, okay, that's letting you know, hey, there's going to be, impactful news. So you might not want to trade that pair at that time, or at least wait till after the news, unless you're purposely trading the news. All right, so it looks like we have 9 a.m. The Fed Chair Powell is going to be speaking, so this will sometimes move the market here. So we're going to be cautious about trading any USD pairs today, being we have one that's Powell speaking today. And this is the Fed. When they say that Fed Chair, the Chairman of the Federal Reserve. Okay. Then we don't have any other news for CAD. 8:45 p.m. today. Okay. Then we have some FOMC members that are going to be speaking. So that's the news. And of course, here, the next one, trade ideas. Anytime that any of the traders decide to throw an idea out there, you have an opportunity. If you want, you can take that trade idea, put in your demo account, put in your real account. I suggest you definitely check it once it's thrown. Okay. So, myself, Andre, we got Boyd Pips that throws trades on here. You got Sharif. Who else do I see that throws trades on here? And then that's it on the trade idea area. And then we have the London payout here, where you can get Kevin Serrano, Dr. Kathy Kirkland, who trades, either gold or trades the indexes or trades any of the GBP pairs when Kevin throws them out as well too. So you got Dr. Case throwing several trades here, okay? And then of course you got Kevin Serrano who throws trades as well too. All right, so let's jump into the information here. So that's how you get trade ideas, okay? And then now just trade for yourself. You go down here to Forex, okay? Gives you the alerts, buy and sell. We're going to talk about how to apply a checklist on before you actually initiate a sell or buy inside the market, okay? You can trade using cryptocurrency. You can trade using the indexes, okay? Or you can trade platinum, silver, gold here, okay? So we're going to focus on Forex today. All right, so first one pop up. It's a sell for EURCAD. Okay, we already have that pulled up. It called it for the hour chart. Now, it doesn't matter the chart here because we still apply the same exact checklist no matter what. Okay, but call it for 1 hour. So typically what we do is we go to the day chart. So we're going to go from the day chart, 4-hour chart, 1 hour chart, 15-minute chart. We're going to check to see if it meets our high probability checklist for a sell. Right, so if you guys have the checklist, let me go and show you guys this real quick. You should have this checklist right here. If not, we'll have someone drop it in the group here. So this checklist right here, okay? So just step by step, 1 through 5, right? 1, we're going to check the trend by looking at the M15 to the day chart, right? You see that? It tells you if candles are above the cloud, we look for a buy. If candles are below the cloud, we look for a sell. Right, number 2, set the support resistance line based off the Web Analyzer. Gives us that entry point. 3, we're going to wait for the pullback. So we're going to wait for it to break and then come back and retest our entry point, that support resistance line. Okay, and then we're going to be looking for entry. Then number 4 and 5 are kind of together. So number 4, we will execute the seller buy, but we're going to first check the currency strength meter to make sure that the currency strength makes sense. Okay, so that's the checklist. It's in our Breakfast Club group if you go under shared media, or if you're in the Legacy Worldwide page, you can find it under shared media as well too. Okay, So that's what we're going through here. So you can actually follow along, and that's how you can take trades with the web analyzer. So here's the first step we're looking for, the trend. Very simple. Day chart. It's above the cloud, isn't it? Okay, so we wouldn't necessarily take the trade right now, but we already know this already. When we hopped into this trade, we hopped in right when it was hitting here, but it never really closed above. So what's happening now is we got to wait for it to break this area here, and so this is why we've been in this thing for a couple days now, and it's been absolutely stubborn before it actually will break this point. So here's where support is at, okay, and it's providing heavy support. So what may happen, and we're gonna have to look at a decision point, okay? Either this at some point is gonna drop through, or unfortunately it may push up before actually coming down. So I don't want to stay in it to this point at all. Okay, so if that thing starts moving up, I'll definitely get out of it. As of right now, we're looking for the drop here still. Okay. Just looking at the weekly. So price is definitely it's got to make a decision. See, same here, support here. So price is currently trapped, and so we're literally waiting for price to break out to the upside or the downside. Okay. So call is a sell, of course. So you see the cloud here. See how it's respecting the cloud. So, and you're gonna see this is what's powerful about this system using the Ichimoku cloud. So every line on this indicator is significant, right? From your sequel span on the 4-hour chart to your sequel span on the day chart. So we see we have a sequel span here, right? Which is treated like, look at it, how it goes straight across, right? Support, resistance. This is resistance right now. That's on my 4-hour chart. Okay. Then we go to our 1-hour chart. Okay, we have our line popped above the cloud on the 1-hour chart. Okay, red line still crossed below the blue. We'll see if it holds. Otherwise, we're looking for this drop here. Okay. Then we have our 15 minutes. So as of right now, obviously we wouldn't take this as a trade for a sell now, but we're in this trade currently. Now we see that there's major resistance being applied here. This is also the cloud as well too, and we can see that just respecting it nicely. So we're going to look for an actual drop here because this is nice. This is what we're looking for. So you see this market is all over the place. It's been pretty much sideways, not really a trend too much. Okay. All right, so that's EURCAD. I'm not sure. Did we take any? I don't think we took any NZD trades this week. Or at least I didn't personally. Let me see. I don't think I called any NZD trades. Yeah, not that this week we did what? GCAD, UCAD. Yeah, we did EUR NZD. Yes, we did. We took a 10 pip trade on that one. Looks like I took 10 pips on the 12th. Yeah, did I call? Yeah, I believe I called EUR NZD for everybody else. I know I took it. If that's the case, so let me see. Yes, I'm in EuroCAD. We're in EuroCAD right now, but don't. It's not a trade that you should enter now. But we're in it from a couple days ago. That's the only trade that we have left. So for EUR NZD, looks like I did a buy for NUR NZD. I don't know if I did that for myself or if I called that on the group or not. But it looks like we took TP. Oh, looks like, yeah, it dropped super too. Let me see. We took it. Yeah, it was up here. This is where we take profit up here, and then it dropped out the sky. That's news. And it looks like it dropped a couple hundred pips actually, because we entered in at 74.05. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and look for some setups real quick. Like I said, on this session, if you're just now getting on, we got 1 hour today. I'll actually be off here in 45 minutes. So I want to give you a lot of value while we're on. So let's go ahead and look, talking about EUR-NZD. All right, let's take a look at EUR-NZD. Okay, first thing we're gonna look at is the day chart here. Okay, it's below that. That's what it is. Okay, it's below the cloud on the day chart. So I want you guys to see this right now. So yeah, this is a big move, by the way. Okay, this obviously you can see this big old drop. Right, this is a sell. Okay, this is a big old sell candle. That dropped heavily. Let's see. So it dropped from 74 down to 71. Now it's pulling back. Okay. Now you guys can clearly see what's happening here, right? Where do you think price is going here? Yeah, I don't know if I personally called EUR-NZD after I'm looking at it. I have to look at the trade ideas. But what's happening here? See how price hit down to this point and is returning back? Okay, this is a pullback. So what I'm looking overall, while naturally, I think your eyes may gauge and see that this is probably going to make another drop at some point. Okay, looking at this whole process, so you can see prices ranging here. This is all sideways. Okay, so we go down from the day chart, right, which is below the cloud on the day chart, pulling up to the Tankerson. We go to our 4-hour, right, below the cloud on the 4-hour, pulling back up to the Henderson, right. So this can tap this and then reverse back down. Okay, the 1 hour, shifting just inside the cloud, so we never trade inside the cloud, right? So remember, it can go to this line here, respect it, actually shift back down, and then 15 minutes above the cloud. So I wouldn't trade this, obviously, because it's below the cloud here. So here's why I wouldn't trade this. EUR-NZD is here, so I wouldn't trade this here. So overall, I think later on if it respects this area, you're going to be looking for probably a sell later on here with EUR-NZD. If it comes back, and basically you'll be looking for it to penetrate this area. But I wouldn't trade EUR-NZD right now. I mean, if you feel, I would put it, yes, my sell stop will be beyond this point though. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. You can do sell stops. At the point is below the cloud, I guess you can say on the 4-hour, right? So below the cloud there. So where it's not below the cloud at is, so I guess around, yeah, this would actually be it. So beyond this point here, you'll be below the cloud on all the charts, I believe. So high probability area would be beyond this point. That'll be our high probability area right here. Now price, you can see price has respected this area here big time. So you definitely want to make sure you get a clear break. Really what you want, and this is why I don't like the sell stops, right? Because a sell stop doesn't give you necessarily the indication you need to know that this is really going to stay in this area. A sell stop is just going to initiate as soon as it touches the entry point, but it doesn't reflect once it's in, it's in. You can't get that retest. And what you really want is to break and then retest this area to make sure it's going to stay. USD CAD, I'll take a look at it. We took profit on. I took profit. I always take profit. Pretty much take profit one and lock it in. And that's why I always suggest get your money and run, but take profit. If you're not going to take profit one like right out, make sure you just bring the stop loss and profit. But I'll definitely take a look at UCAD. Take a look real quick. So that's what I see for EURNZD. Nice setup for later on. Possible overall setup for a sell later. Okay. We went into UCAD as a buy. And UCAD, we closed out fast. So here's what I have for UCAD. So UCAD, I think you should still be in profit. You're in profit in UCAD, right? Or that you go back, that you re-enter back in. What's your entry point for UCAD? Your entry is 1.32446. You are in major profit. If your entry is you're 20 pips in profit right now. Close it out. Okay, 325. Okay, you entered 10 pips later. So you re-entered probably. Because my entry point is 1.32456. And TP is 1.32546 for 10 pips. So it looks like you re-entered the trade. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna tell, because I know that's what happens, right? We'll hit 10 pips fast, and most people will re-enter the trade. I'm gonna tell you right now, like when you hit a TP, I have a rule. I leave the trade alone. If I just hit a 10 pip TP, maybe I was trying to trail it. If I didn't get to trail it and I just hit the 10 pips, I don't go back in for the trade. And I'll tell you, you'll save yourself some heartache by not doing that as well. Never go back into a trade after you hit 10 pips, or you need to wait for the pullback before you enter back in. What that means is once you hit boom, this pullback has to happen before you enter back into the trade. Where we're at right now, so prices went up to about 700, 705. We were, I believe I had a TP2 set at 800 for this reason here. So when you see me ran the Fibonacci right here. So right now it's bucking against the 78.6. So it's likely, so right here. So it's likely it's trying to itch up there. It may hit it, but it's likely that once it pops this zone here around this area, it may wick it. It's going to reverse back down. So, well, you should still be in profit with 5.4. Actually, the TP you just gave me, you should still be in profit. So I don't think that's the right TP either. All right, entry point. So what's your entry point you have right now? You're 10 pips in profit. Unless you have a bad broker or you enter much later. What I suggest, I do see that it may drop. Okay, so you see this. So it's itching. So it's itching up, but I do see that it may actually drop at some point. And I'll show you what I'm seeing here. So you see how, so you got a small, somewhat bearish divergence happening. See that? See that difference that's happening there with the RSI, and then this is still pushing up. So what's happening is it's losing gas on the way up. So it may go up a little bit more, but it's losing gas. We have our divergence right here, which is shown on RSI. So we are going to get probably a drop or a change of direction coming here shortly. So what I suggest is if you're close to profit, definitely, I mean, I would look to be closing out for USD CAD at some point, or put a stop loss in, because I believe it is going to drop and reverse at some point. So if it doesn't hit that TP2 that we call, it's going to pull back. All right, folks, I will get to you guys calls at the end here. Let's see what we can find in the market. So we got EUR USD. Take a look at that. So what I suggest to you also, when you take a trade, when we do a trade on here, I want when I throw a TP1 is what we're looking at. Okay, when I throw TP2, I'm looking at the rest of the market structure and saying, okay, if price continues, it's going to go here. So don't take that as a guarantee. What I want you to do is make sure that you, once price goes 10 pips or more, you always bring your stop loss into profit if you're going to look for more pips inside the market. Or if you're going to look for a deeper position, always wait for that pullback. If you're going to hop in for another position, wait for that pullback to happen first before you enter in again. All right, so EUR USD was called for a buy. Obviously, it's below the cloud here, so won't be buying this one. But let's look at the overall. So day chart just popped below the cloud on the day chart. I will tell you right now, I've seen this has been here for a couple days now. So price hasn't really moved. It's been stuck right here. So below the cloud on the day chart, below the cloud on the 4 hour, still below the cloud on the 1 hour. And just shifting on the 15-minute chart. So I'm just seeing where the retracement is happening at. So even just looking and coincide with the cloud, the retracement is at the 61.8, which is a reverse point. Sometimes when we say the major reverse point is 78.6, this is bonus training. For those who went through the academy, you know there's a Fibonacci course on there. They'll talk about these retracement zones here, which is good. You can add this on top of what you already know with using the cloud as well too. The cloud pretty much does pretty well and how it coincides with where price is at. So you can see this is going to test up against this area here with the cloud as well, which is the 61.8. Okay. So that's euro. So we won't take on the 15-minute, just shifted above. Let's see. Me personally, I won't trade this. Okay, like I said, due to it being below the cloud on the other charts. So it may come up, respect this area, and then actually drop back down. You don't want to get caught in that. All right, so let's go to our next trade. EUR GBP moves pretty slow. We'll take a look at it though. All right, below the cloud. You see very choppy here, so it's a very slow moving pair for our chart. Below the cloud, red lines under the blue line that checks. 1 hour, still below the cloud, but above the Tengsin Kinsen, right? So that's right now is support until it transitions back below. And 15-minute is above the cloud right now, and we can see it coming back down. I wouldn't be looking to get into this trade until after this point here. And we see what that is on the 15-minute chart, which is right below the cloud there. So once this crosses down, we can look to enter that trade. Now, what I'll tell you is this EUR GBP is a slow moving pair. And you can see it's very choppy here. So personally, I wouldn't look to get into this trade. Actually, now I'm looking at this too. So we keep on going over this. So it's bonus training here. We talk about divergence, right? It's showing us that there's going to be a change in direction. Okay, so when we go from here, you see it's trending down, right? Then we go here. What do we have? Trending up on our RSI. Okay, letting you know there's going to be a change of direction here. So it's losing its energy on the way down. Okay, at some point it's going to reverse up. So we're going to be looking for this break here, actually. All right, let's look at these next pairs here. So GBP AUD. All right, we're just following our checklist. So what's the it's calling for a buy. So what's our rule for our checklist, right? We go to our J chart. We're going to look at the trend. Great, above the cloud. Okay, 4 hour, above the cloud. 1 hour is above the cloud. Okay, very simple. 15. Oh man, we got a winner above the cloud. So what are we looking at now? Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put our line out there. So we go to our horizontal line here. We click, just put it somewhere around the entry. We're going to edit this line. Okay, right here, this gear, we're going to open it up. All we're going to do is type in the price it's giving us, 89536. It's saying that's our entry point because expecting price to go above that. So that's what we're going to have price test off of. Okay. Now we can go down to our 5 minutes. So everything was above the cloud, it checks. Now what we're doing is we're waiting for what? The pullback. Okay. So we want price to break this area, pull back, and retest it 2 times. We can use the 5 minute. Most time, 15 minutes where you'll see something solid. Now you can see that this is a process that's not necessarily fast if we look at the retest. Okay, so we're retesting 15 minutes. That's automatic 30 minutes right there. So most time we do 5 minutes to get to knock trade out fast because we know that it just meets our criteria. So let's look now that I have this set. We're waiting for the pullback. We can look and see how far we feel this trade is going to go up by taking this lagging span and we look in the past. Okay, we look backwards. Let me go to a higher time frame. It's a little bit of bonus training happening here, but how you can look at it. Okay, there is going to be a pullback that's happening. So I look left immediately on the 4 hour chart. We have this. So really, the price only went up to this point here. So let me see if this is even worth our time, right? So we have price there. Then let me go to the day chart and see where we can get price at. This is important. Okay, so which is 50. This is about 50 pips. So that's good. Let's look at the day chart. Yeah, so we don't really have much room, do we? See that day chart right there? There we go. And then we look left. So now this was in 2000. We'll look back. 2016 is the last time price has been this high. All right, so what we're looking at here, so this first one is taking price up to this point here. So let's go back onto the 15 minute. So we definitely want to make sure that here's what when I go into a trade like this that's it hasn't been up this high in a while. I definitely want to ensure that we get 2 to 3 retests before we enter in the trade. And then lastly, before we execute the trade, we go to our currency strength meter. We make sure that it makes sense. We want GBP because it's the front pair to be stronger than AUD. Okay, GBP has 3 bars. I would say it's not that much stronger, but it's strong. This can flip on us. Go back here. All right, so GBP has 3 for strength. AUD has 1. So this can actually flip, by the way. So I'm not that comfortable about throwing a GBP AUD trade right now. Okay. So we are going to wait for that retest to happen before we enter this trade. We're not going to make any assumption. Assumptions will have you stuck in the trade. Okay. So based off the 4-hour chart, we can possibly get there's 50 pips in between here. Okay. Now this price can still tap off of this and pull back. We don't want to get caught in this. We don't want to look to go into to get 10 or 50 pips and only get pulled back 50 to 100. So we're going to wait and make sure that this doesn't pull back all the way here, which we see the couple dips in the cloud here. 3 hours on that 4-hour candle. All right, so yeah, we're going to solidify and make sure that this tests this area and that this is shifting up. You see how the red line is pushing, and then the blue line is leveling off right here. This is what we're going to watch right here as well too. We really want this blue line to kind of come along and push. Once you see typically you'll see this, you'll see where the Kensington and the red line will come together pushing up, or they'll come together going down. That when you see that, that is a good indication that you're getting ready for a good strong push. You can almost treat that, this like these two are like pushing the price up or down. But when you see that level off, we got to be careful, because that means this red line can come up, cuff price, bring it back down for the pullback here, which just shows it's going to be a pullback here as well. Okay, 24 minutes in that candle, and then we got 15 minutes. So we will come back to GBP AUD. Yes, it does meet our criteria as far as this currency strength, minimal. So we just want to make that this is a good retest so that we don't get caught in the pullback. So based off the 15-minute, I'll tell you we want to see if it's going to pull back to this 8944. That's where the tank's in that here. Respects this here, and then pops back up. We can go in for the trade. No, we did not enter GN. Not yet. I don't think I got an alert for GN yet. Yeah, remember we talked about GN? No, we didn't enter GN. So remember our talk here was it needed to break this point. It needed to break this point here, okay, which is pretty much a demand area. So it needed to break that before you even think about entering on this trade. And then ultimately, this is GN. I think I talked about this I wouldn't think about really until this is the high probability area here for GN. Okay, so you can see prices consolidated now on the day chart. This is a lot of pips right here, by the way, when you're looking at GN. Okay, a lot of pips. So this is the area I want to be in. This is where my alert is set up at for when that happens. This is going to pay nice money, right? So it's worth waiting for and allowing the alert to happen. So you can set up your alert on your trading view. I mean, you're talking about 500 pips, and this is what, 2 days? That's 2 days right here. So it hasn't happened yet, but when it does happen, this is going to be a payday. Okay. Now it's not guaranteed that this will happen, right? Remember, we got to wait for the confirmations. So right now, price is ranging here. So it's not breaking, it's consolidating. So it may pull back. Next one may come down. So we just have to wait for that condition to happen. Yep, the weekly. So here's what this saying, same thing. So you see price on the weekly. So we would call this also supply. So it's once again, price is trapped. There is no if it's going to buy or if it's going to sell. You're going to wait for confirmation. So on the weekly, just giving you a long term. Weekly is just letting you know. And this is why I use weekly as a view as well too. But this is letting me know price can still drop in this area here. Okay, so this may pull back to the line here. So like I said, wait for the confirmations, and then we'll go from there. This was a nice trend up on the weekly. Now we're talking about the weekly. This is like, these are big moves. So we just wait, right? This could be corrective, go up, or come back to pop down, but this is a weekly. So I stick more to the daily here. So once again, let it do what it's going to do. Either it can bounce up or it's going to break this area here. So just wait for it. All right, so GA we're waiting for. Looked at EUR GBP. We looked at EUR USD, EUR AUD. All right, so EUR AUD, it looks like it called for a buy. Let's see. So I'm looking at the day chart. Let's see, weekly day chart. You see it's below the cloud on the day chart, right? Definitely pulled up, pulled back here. So before me thinking about entering this trade for a buy, obviously I want it to be above the cloud. Right now it's definitely too close to the cloud, so it can reject off of the cloud here. Remember, every line in this indicator, okay? Doesn't matter which line it is, except the lagging span. Every line except the lagging span is considered a support or a resistance area. If you can remember that, I mean, you'll do fine with this indicator. Every line is support or a resistance, meaning if price is below it, it's resistance. If price is above it, it's support. Okay, so all that the Ichimoku system is a moving support and resistance indicator. Okay, it's meaning there's numbers and algorithm that's being divided and stuff like that. This based off of this, what makes this the previous support and resistance areas. So hence how you see this in the future is letting you know this is a future pullback happening here. It may drop. This letting you know this may drop and continue down, or it may break through and continue up. And this is why when it gets close to the cloud, you need to let price either break above it or stay below it. And that's when you can consider entering. So the cloud is considered the trend oscillator. So if price rejects off of it, guess what? Well, then your trend is going to continue down. If price breaks it, then we got to change direction. The trend is going to start shifting up. So for this case, price is currently below the cloud. Okay. Price is above the cloud here. Now, if we were to run let's say I ran a Fibonacci for here to here down, there's certain, the cloud coincides nicely with things. So let's say if you run Fibonacci's, right? We ran that to here. Where's that reversal at? It's right at our 78.6, isn't it? So this is a major reversal number, 78.6, ran from our Fibonacci, but it coincides nicely with what our cloud is giving us. Okay. So great thing, the indicator, it's good. So most likely this at the 786, it's a major decision area. It's either going to break past this point or it's going to tap it, reverse back down, which it is a major reversal area. That's it on the day chart. So now that we look at this, right, let's say we were trying to go in for our buy and didn't realize, plus the cloud is telling us it's going to be a pullback here. Okay, so coincides with what we've been looking at anyway. 78.6 is right here. Pullbacks right here. That's another indication that, hey, this is probably going to pull back in this area. Okay, we go to the 1 hour. Okay, once again, dips in the cloud. Now, when you see you can kind of start seeing, you'll get used to looking at these indicators. See how the red line is not curving up. It's not like it's like, okay, we're about to head up. You know, you see this is kind of shifting to where it wants to go sideways. Also letting us know that, hey, price doesn't want to just push up. We're going to get this dip first. Okay, we're going to get that pullback or that pullback here. Okay, so we wait for the pullback. This is a little extra training things of just when you get used to just looking at the indicator that you'll see. and get used to seeing. Now on the 15-minute, I did the same thing. See how that just curved over? So leveled off on the Kendison. The red line went sideways. It's not going up like that yet. So you're going to wait a little bit. So now you need to wait for the pullback. Once again, pull back on 15. So we don't know how far it's going to pull back, but we know it's going to pull back. So we're going to wait for it. So this is the bonus training day. This is really, so most people think this indicator is very difficult, but it's really easy once you learn it. But you got to get used to it and you got to get patient. This is why you'll see me working a little bit and you're probably wondering what I'm looking at. So I'm just kind of giving you a gaze of what I'm really looking at. There's certain things like, yeah, looking at the tanks, and because this is a calculation right here. It's based off 26 periods back. So looking at this, it's letting us know, hey, we got a level off coming, which we can kind of tell the story and walk through. We see it happening. Okay, we know that there's a pullback happening. Okay, so I'm not just going this blindly. I'm going to wait. So let's move on to our next one. Obviously, first of all, I would have thrown this one out here because I already feel that it's going to reverse based off the day chart, and it's right there. Now, if I was going to trade against the trend on the day chart, I would definitely have wanted to do it down here. Definitely not close to the cloud here. So if you are going to purposely trade against the trend when you are looking at this, just make sure you have enough room for that trade to go up and not bump the cloud, because the cloud is consistently it wins. Okay, it's a MRA, major reversal area. All right, so so far GBP AUD has met our criteria. We just, like I said, wait for. Let's see if we get a confirmation for that one. So it looked like it did shift up, didn't it? All right, that looking better. All right, let's go. Let's see. Just check a couple things real quick. That's leveling off there. Yeah, let's wait. This is so what you seeing me see here. So see once again the level off. So if we just kind of bought in 54, that possibly would have hit 10 pips. I think 10 pips there. So it's pulling back. So it broke. Now it broke. Okay. So this is a good candidate right now. So it broke our area. So now we're gonna wait for the pullback to happen, which is happening. Let's see how far it's gonna pull back. That's what we're looking for. No pullback, no entry. You save your drawings by just clicking, instead of clicking here, just go in this area here and just type it in. All right, so right now, good candidate, we have GBP AUD. Let me go and just pull that up here. Yeah, I said I did look at this last night, I think. It shifted up 100 pips. Definitely missed that move here. All right, so let's wait for, we got 11 minutes on this candle here, the 15 minutes, and then 5-minute candle. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so we'll go based off the 5-minute here. So here's another, as you see the separation start to happen, between the tungsten and the Kingston, more of an indication also, okay, that price is going to reverse as separation happens. All right, there goes that pullback there. We're going to see if we can look for an entry for a buy for GBP AUD. We're going to wait for the pullback, see if the pullback respects the area. If it respects the area, then we'll look for the retest to go in. If it doesn't respect the area, then we won't call that trade. So if I get testing there, so what else we talk about here? So obviously we're looking at the money line. We know that it gives you previous lows and highs. So looking here, if price, let's say you see this pullback is happening, well, if this pullback continues past this point here, we look to the left here, boom, this is going to be the area it goes to, which obviously it lines up with our Kingston, right? So it can test off the Kingston as well too. Like I said, you see now prices, you see the Kingston and Tanks that move sideways. When you see that sideways movement, definitely you want to start looking like, okay, I may not enter the market. We want this to clearly shift up. So now when we get this Kingston and red line shifting up, we're in for the trade as well too. Right now, we're allowing the pullback to happen. 9 minutes on the candle. Go look at what the 5 minute looks like. It's already went past. Okay. So this was our initial area, right? Retest, boom, popped up. And we actually missed this. I mean, this would have been our call right here. So retest, price moving our direction. We would have bought here. So we kind of missed that. It's fine though, because that would only gave us 10 pips. This we might have just barely missed it, which is fine. Because I barely gave 10 pips right here. So not really a trade that we were looking for heavy. This is at the very top. In my opinion, this is at the top of it's at a high price point. So it's more you can expect more of a reversal here. And a lot of now on the day chart, yeah, I think there's still more movement to go for the day chart. Okay. All right. So respecting that area, right? So you see that retest. Okay, that's good. All right, so we're clearly seeing this, right? You're watching the retest happen. Boom. It's respecting that zone. That's nice, right? Came down, pulled back up. We're going to let it close out. We got 2 minutes left on the candle. And so this is real trading flow. This is what it takes. This is the patience. This is what it takes to enter the market. I mean, obviously, could we go in and just say, I'm going to buy it? You could, but it will be, it's not a guaranteed entry, right? I think you can continue to pull down. Okay. All right, that goes. It continually pull back still, right? So price is currently trapped. So you see the story happening. Price is trapped right now. So we're going to look for price to break. But this is a pullback. This is good. This is our 15-minute. We got 6 minutes left on the 15-minute candle. Okay. Respecting that area. So this is one retest on the 15-minute. That happened, right? Two retests is happening, right? So the next one could be a good push up. All right, so here's, I don't want us to miss this. So here's what we're going to do. Let me pull up GBP AUD on my phone, because I think that GBP AUD is a good candidate. All right, so we're going to be looking for possible entry for GBP AUD. We're going to be looking for a buy possibly here. So we're waiting. We're just waiting for this to complete as far as the pullback, wait for price to make a decision. And we're looking for a bullish candle moving in the direction of travel. This is the pullback that's happening. We're looking for a bullish candle to be traveling up, right? As long as this respects our area, okay? And then we look at the currency strength before we pull the trigger, okay? We make sure that it makes sense. We want GBP to be stronger than AUD. Okay, so hence it came down a little bit because of the pullback. So the strength still checks. We're good. I can see that's breaking the Kendison right there. So here's what I'm gonna do. I have it pulled up on my phone. I'm gonna move on to see if we can if we have any other setups in the market. We got 5 minutes left, folks. So I want to let's speed through some things here. So now I'm gonna go a little bit faster. We kind of talked about the training here. I'll provide this. This training will be on our YouTube today. All right, quick. So here's how fast it should go when you're analyzing your charts. Okay, GBP USD call for a buy above the chart on the day chart, above the chart on, so right in the clouds on the 4 hour. Okay. Now you see all these wicks, folks. So you know that price is going to do something. You see most likely price may drop based on what we're looking at. So, but it doesn't meet our criteria. It's below the cloud here, below the cloud on the 4 hour. Just shifted below the cloud on the 15 minutes. So we won't be using that one. So let's go to our next one. GBP USD, where are you looking at AUD? Go back. See how price is respecting that area? This is what we're looking for. Strong support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retest. Okay. Price. Next one we're looking is price moving in the direction. We're gonna initiate our buy once that happens. So we have 3 minutes left on this candle. So this is the last candle. That was a retest. It's still retesting the area. So we're waiting for that last confirmation, which is price moving in a direction. Then we can go in for the trade. So far we're good. So let me scroll down a little bit more. We looked at EUR GBP. We looked at EUR USD. We looked at EUR AUD. We are still, yes, Candace, we are still in EuroCAD. I went over that earlier. Since we got most, let's do EuroCAD real quick. EuroCAD, obviously no one entered this now, but if you're in, we're in right now. Okay. We're just waiting for the drop. What happened, unfortunately, is EuroCAD on the day chart. This is once again, I should just really waited for it to close beyond this point. Okay, we hopped in a couple days ago. Price was around here. We got in. It did go into profit about 5 or six pips or so. Then that joker walked all the way back on us on the day chart. Okay, and then stayed above here. So this is where we're at. Price is currently trapped right now. So we're waiting for price to make a decision. Maybe, and what I'm going to suggest, probably in the next day, so tomorrow, if not today, price is going to come back down to entry. What I suggest, I'm going to write that down. Probably close out at entry just to be safe. And then we'll close out at entry, and then we'll wait for price. So if you initiate another position once it starts dropping, you can. close out at entry, and then we will look for, this is what we wanted to catch. We need price to close below here if we're going to get it on this part. Other than that, I'm hoping price doesn't shift up to this point because it is respecting this area as well too. So this can actually shift up here. You start seeing that move, go ahead and get out of the trade. Okay, so that's Euro CAD. All right, GPAUD is still, so we were waiting. So thank goodness we waited, right? So we had got our retest. That was all good. Boom, it closed below it. So now it's pulling back even more. So this is not ready. So this is why we wait. This is a new 15-minute candle. So it may even pull it. So you see, now you see how the Kingston and Kingston are moved sideways. It's letting you know this is consolidated. This pullback is happening right now. Okay. So we wait for GBP AUD. So that's not going to be a trade that's going to happen right now, but look for entry in the future. Wait for the retest. Wait for price to move up. Once price starts moving up, then we can actually buy and make sure price is above the Kingston and Kingston. Okay, I'll make sure that I post this training after this meeting. There'll be two trainings that will be posted. This will be the shortest one because we're going to keep this one at an hour. So this training will be posted today, I promise. All right, so NZD, JPY, let's look real quick. My session is pretty much over. I'll try to knock. So GPAUD is what we were looking at. But long story short, you guys can do this yourself today. Well, I want to challenge you. Look at some of these trades yourself and analyze them, go through the charts, and then if you're not comfortable, do it in your demo until you get comfortable and start calling your own trades. And you'll see that this is very simple. All right, so NZD, JPY call for a sell. First thing we look at is the day chart. It's above the cloud. So what do I do? Not going to do this one as a sell, right? Especially because it's so close to the cloud here. So that may reverse back up. So we're now put ourselves in that situation. Let's look at the rest of it. We can see this correction here, right? This is tapping against the cloud. It's respecting it. Okay, so that may shift up. 1 hour, just below the cloud, but you can see where the Tungsten leveled off here, right? They're going sideways right now. So not a candidate for any type of trade here. So we shift to the next one. So let me see. I'm going to go back to the questions real quick, and then we'll complete this session. Yes, no, you do get in on the pullback. So China, you do. So GBP AUD, yes, you do get on the pullback, but you want to make sure that the pullback is complete. So it's not a matter of when to get. It's a matter of when do you get in on the pullback. Well, you wait for price to confirm that it's going to start shifting. For this purpose, GBP AUD, we're looking for the buy. We need a bullish candle. So I would never hop in on the opposite candle. Okay. So this is good. You see I was respecting that Tungsten there. That's good. You want to ensure that this is okay. There we go. 2 minutes left. You see how this coincides with what we're looking for. Now price is still sideways here on the Tungsten, but look at the 5 minute. Now you see prices. We wanted to close above the Tungsten here before we enter. Okay, so we'll probably just enter our session here off of GBP AUD. We'll see. Maybe we might be able to catch this call here before I get off. Let me go and see if there's any major questions here. So GBP NZD, we're waiting for it to actually break a certain point. You'll be able to catch it on this recording here. So patience, as you can see, trading is patience. You got to be patient in the trading space. But the great thing is this is telling us when we can enter. Guess what? It's testing. Price is now trapped in between these two Tungsten, Kingston. Once price closes above here, then we get our next bullish candle. We are going to enter the trade for the buy. Okay, so price must close above here. Then our next candle that lights up is a bullish candle. See that? market sideways. This letting us know, no, this is not good right here. Okay, so we want to make sure that we get a clear break, price closes, and then price moves up. Right now, price is trapped. So that's our new 5-minute candle, and it's bouncing in between here. All right, so what I'm going to suggest you guys, when we get off here, for those that are on, pay attention to GBP AUD. There we go. It just popped above. Now, here's the trick. Right now, you have the fear of missing out happening to you right now, okay? Because you want to hop in this trade because it just popped above. Here's where this tricks us at, because price hasn't closed yet. I don't care if price might even push up to this point again. I won't hop in because it doesn't guarantee that price is going to go here, okay? So it might just shift up to here. This is where it's better to miss the move. We want confirmation before we enter a trade. Okay, that's why this is such a big deal for as mindset training. Okay, because it tricks you and say you go in, oh, there goes the move, boom, in. It pulls back, got you. Now you're in the negative trade. Now you have to wait for this thing to break, hopefully to the upside. That would be gambling. I use Hugo's Way. See, this was a trap. It pulled some people right here. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I thought I was gonna be able to call it. We're gonna be 5 minutes our way before you know it. I've been on here for 2 hours, so I got to get off here. So that's our time, folks. So what we're looking at is GBP AUD. We're gonna be looking for that for a potential buy, but you need to wait for the pullback to happen. So the question is, how far is it gonna pull back? The good thing is we didn't want to get caught in this. Okay, so it may end up walking itself all the way back to this part here. So you see that moving sideways. So you can see it really kind of leveling off. So this pullback may happen. So just wait. That's the 1 hour, or it might do it on the 4 hour, which this is, like I said, that's just leveling off as well too. So then you're gonna wait for the big pullback, and then we'll go in for entry for there. All right. So typically we do our session. Typically I do a session from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We have to get off early today. Okay. So that's our time, folks. What we'll do is I'll have this recording once it gets uploaded to my computer here.